Trevor Zegras and Jamie Drysdale still unsigned? Surprising draft choices? And big contracts given out to players on the decline? How are we feeling, Ducks fans? The Athletic just released NHL front office confidence rankings, and the Ducks one was interesting to say the least, with the Ducks dropping from 6th to 18th the previous year. Oh, what being the worst team will do to ya. Now, this article is based on a survey of 11,000 fans who graded their favorite teams. So I wonder how many fans of those were actually Ducks fans. Maybe 100? Small but mighty. Each front office was graded in 6 categories: roster building, cap management, drafting and development, trading, free agency, and vision. Roster building seems a little low in my opinion. I think it's more at a B-. Like, I know the roster is still rough around the edges, but looking at it on paper, it actually doesn't even look that bad. Verbeek is trying to build a culture, and the people he has added are what we need to build the culture he wants. Now, they cost a bit much, but that brings us to cap management, which seems about right. Maybe a little lower, because we haven't used our cap space to its full potential. I think we should have been taking on bad contracts to get assets, which we haven't really done. I guess McGinn, and now we have overpaid some vets, which is what we have to do to build that winning culture when we suck. However, we still have the most cap space in the NHL, so we haven't mismanaged it. Of course, Z and Jimmy aren't signed yet, but either way, it seems we're still going to have a few mil to spend. The grade for drafting and development is fine. We have so many prospects, which means yes, we have drafted well. In fact, really well. But it's also how they develop. Most of our prospects won't be in the NHL next year, so it's hard to judge their development. How many of them are going to be NHL players? I think a lot, so I 100% believe this will be an A+ next year. I think the grade for trading goes down to a D. I have been relatively unimpressed with the deals Pat has made. He was in a tough spot with Lindy, Rax, and Manson, and had to get something for them, but I really don't think he got full value, especially for Lindholm. I am still shocked he got anything for Klinger and Cooley. At the moment, I'll give free agency a C, but honestly, it just keeps going down the longer these RFA deals take. Down to the wire with Timmy, and Zegras and Jamie are still unsigned. I just don't like those type of games. But I also will say I'm just so used to the Ducks doing nothing during free agency that it was a nice change of pace to see some bigger free agents being signed. Granted, they were all overpaid, but that's what we have to do till we are a better team. If Z and Jimmy aren't signed by training camp, that's a fail. And I will start questioning Pat's decisions even more. The grade for vision is definitely low. I think it should be at least an A-. Pat has made it clear what his vision is, and everything he has done so far is in that vision. Getting tough to play against, building a winning culture, not just building a team to win now, but taking the steps to make them win for years to come. So that's a C+ overall. So I guess I agree with the article. I'm honestly shocked by this. I thought it would have been higher. I really like what Pat has done overall. Some things have not panned out the way we all hoped they would have, but the decisions behind them have made sense, at least to me. He was put in a tough position after Murray left. And these 6 categories don't really do Pat justice. I would give him a B overall. I like what Pat is doing. I just don't like the way in which he's doing it. One thing at a time, and I just don't understand why Z and Jamie aren't signed yet. They should have been one of the top priorities this offseason. And training camp starts in like 3 weeks. It's just frustrating. I'm also not a fan of the RFAs he's let walk for nothing. But at least he has been honest with his vision and is sticking to it. It's nice to have the franchise have a direction in which they're following. You know, the funny thing is that Vegas was last on this list last year. So it seems you want your team to be further down on this list. So I guess this means the Ducks are going in the right direction and are closer to a Stanley Cup. But anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and go Ducks!